This is Dr. Myron Wentz. In this Life Masters message, I'd like to talk for a few minutes about an important component of a healthy diet, dietary fiber, which is unfortunately often overlooked by people. We'll begin by determining what dietary fiber is and then explore why it's important for your health. So, what is dietary fiber? Your grandma probably called it roughage. And although she didn't know the scientific basis for the health benefits of fiber, she did know that it was important to include some of it in your diet every day. Well, dietary fiber is not a single food or substance. It is the non-digestible complex of carbohydrates that are found only in plant foods. Fiber in itself contributes little to your caloric intake because the body cannot easily absorb it. That's why high-fiber foods are low-calorie foods. Fiber can be classified into two categories according to physical characteristics and effects on the body. Fiber is either soluble or insoluble in water. Examples of soluble fibers are gum arabic and pectin, found in apples, oranges, pears, peaches, and grapes. Soluble fiber absorbs toxins in the large intestine and neutralizes them. Insoluble fiber helps to maintain normal blood pressure levels and promotes the growth of beneficial bacteria in the large intestine. I'll talk more about that in a moment. Insoluble fiber also acts like tiny scrub brushes that sweep out fecal residue from the large intestine. With this sweeping action, insoluble fiber aids overall digestion, elimination, and promotes bowel regularity. Good examples of insoluble fibers are cellulose and lignin, found in fruits, vegetables, dried beans, wheat bran, plus peas and corn. There are several reasons why dietary fiber doesn't get the attention it deserves from the medical establishment. First, recognition of its role in human physiology is relatively recent. Only in the late 1960s did research on fiber begin in earnest. Second, there is still some disagreement on just what dietary fiber is. Even the word fiber itself is not quite accurate, reminding us as it does of long fibrils, primarily of cellulose. It's true that the major portion of dietary fiber in foods is derived from plant cell walls, but there are many other substances in plant foods that are considered to be dietary fiber, including soluble polysaccharides and gums. While dietary fiber is still not considered to be an essential nutrient by many medical authorities, that position may say as much about how far behind the times conventional medicine is as it does about the value of fiber in the diet. After all, one of the most important reasons why traditional diets, such as the Asian diet and the Mediterranean diet, were and still are so healthy is because they are so high in fiber content. With a better idea of what dietary fiber is, the next question is, what are the health benefits of consuming adequate amounts of it every day? As ongoing clinical studies are showing, the physiological effects of a high-fiber diet are many, and they are very complex. The first and most obvious thing that fiber does is to increase the bulk of the gastrointestinal waste, forming larger, softer stools that move more quickly through the colon. It's easy to see how this would help to prevent constipation. Many studies indicate that it also has a significant effect on moderating glucose levels in the blood. A third major health benefit is that fiber prevents reabsorption from the gut of toxins such as the enzymes in bile acid. The bulk of a high-fiber meal causes you to feel satisfied when you eat a moderate-sized meal, which helps you to avoid overeating. Also important in weight management is the fact that fiber provides almost no calories. Finally, fiber from different sources includes a wide range of micronutrients, helping you to achieve optimal micronutrition. Fiber's benefits over the long term are even more impressive and very significant for preventing degenerative disease. Largely as a result of its cleansing and detoxifying activity, a high-fiber diet can significantly reduce the risk of several major degenerative diseases, including diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and certain cancers. Both adequate amounts of total fiber consumed daily and a recommended ratio of soluble to insoluble fiber are important for promoting gastrointestinal health. The human GI tract is subjected to enormous and continual stimulation and challenge by foreign antigens from food and ingested microbes. This system of organs must integrate the many complex interactions between your diet, external pathogens, and local immunological processes. There are lymphoid tissues, components of the immune system, all through the gut, including the Peyer's patches and lymph nodes in the intestines. There is increasing evidence that fiber, especially the types of fiber called prebiotics, can help to modulate immune system function. With more and more studies showing the healthy benefits of a high-fiber diet, more nutrition authorities are agreeing that we should include at least a minimal amount of fiber in our daily diet. The U.S. Surgeon General and many professional organizations recommend a diet containing 20 to 35 grams of fiber per day. I consider this amount to be less than optimal, but then the average American diet barely includes half this much, only about 11 grams per day. You know, in my travels to underdeveloped parts of the world, visiting primitive villages for the Children's Hunger Fund, I've seen that generally, the higher the fiber content in the diet, the less need for hospitals. As long as the diets contain sufficient essential nutrients, in these cultures where people consume large amounts of unprocessed starch staples, there are few examples of degenerative diseases like osteoarthritis, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. So rather than using guidelines such as the RDA of 20 to 35 grams per day, you should simply include as much fiber as you can in your diet from a wide variety of sources and from both plant foods and fiber supplements. There are still many nutrition authorities who say that obtaining healthy amounts of both types of fiber is fairly easy if you are consuming the recommended servings of fruits and vegetables. However, eating large enough portions of fruits and vegetables every day to achieve an optimal amount of fiber can be quite difficult, especially in today's fast-paced society. That's why you need to consider a fiber supplement. The American Dietetic Association emphasizes the importance of obtaining your fiber from a wide variety of sources, not just a few fruits and vegetables. If you supplement with fiber, you should always look for a product that includes fiber from many different sources. You should also be sure that your fiber supplement provides the correct ratio of soluble to insoluble fiber. An ideal ratio is 1 unit of insoluble fiber to every 2 units of soluble fiber. An effective formulation of dietary fiber supplement also includes types of fiber called prebiotics. Basically, they are food for the bacteria in your intestines. You know, billions and billions of bacteria are living inside you. The human gastrointestinal tract is inhabited by several species of beneficial bacteria, and you couldn't stay healthy without them. In all, the human body is home to over 200 species of bacteria, but the normal flora of the intestine represents the largest populations. An estimated 10 to the 14 bacteria, that's 1 followed by 14 zeros, are normally in the gastrointestinal tract. That's as many or more individual organisms as there are cells in your whole body. Prebiotics, such as the fructo-oligosaccharides, or FOS, and inulin, pass undigested from the stomach into the lower intestine. Once in the lower intestine, they nurture the growth of these beneficial bacteria, both by altering the pH of the environment and by providing food for them. Prebiotics have also been shown to improve the absorption of calcium, and they help to balance lipid and cholesterol metabolism, as well as aid in immune function of the gastrointestinal tract. A modern diet, high in meat laced with antibiotics, alcohol, and toxic substances in processed foods, combined with the stress of contemporary society, upsets the normal flora of the gastrointestinal tract. Prebiotic fiber supplements can help to maintain a healthy environment for beneficial bacteria. As you can see, fiber is valuable for your health more for its function than for its content. And that's why it plays important roles in so many health conditions. Since the sources of fiber are natural plant foods, determining your daily intake is not as straightforward as reading the calorie content from labels on food packages. But if you make a list of each item you eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, then refer to a table of fiber content of foods, you can get a rough idea how much you need to add to achieve recommended amounts. The American Dietetic Association, Hopkins Technology, and the American Council of Science and Health all have internet sites that provide tables listing the dietary fiber content of common foods. If your diet has been severely deficient in fiber, or if you are finding it difficult to consume as much fiber-rich food as you would like, you may not want to add a large dose of fiber to your daily routine suddenly. Instead, increase your intake gradually to avoid discomfort. In any case, make sure you drink plenty of water along with your fiber supplement. For efficient functioning of the gastrointestinal system and elimination of toxins, as well as an enhanced immune function, you need to include fiber in your diet every day. Your grandmother knew that, and now you do too.